how much we know it, and in what way we know it. Yes. So that basically it is a transformative journey. What it means by transformative journey? I wake up in the morning and I have a totally different perception. What is that perception? Choiceless awareness, self absorption. And we just talk about it and then we forget it. So we'll talk about it. But it will not happen once we. Rare people are there who can reach to that state in 5 or 6 steps that we have covered. Not everyone can reach to that five, that choiceless awareness and self absorption. So, so we should not forget. What we should not forget are the Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu. Guarding yourself. Who is guarding? And what it is guarding? The mind is guarding the mind not to enter into any kind of delusion, relish. Sarve Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Maybe during the day, think, just find out how many times you are able to remind, relish. Second message is relishing, captures the essence of enjoying the spiritual journey. Operate sahaviryam karvavahe. I am working on the mind, or the mind is working on me. I have to remember. GROWS. Do you remember the GROWS acronym? And W means the wisdom. Yes, through the wisdom I understood I'm working on the mind or not. And sync. So when we sync, then, and three Om Shanti. I have discussed it many a times. First Shanti to the known world, second Shanti to the unknown world, third Shanti within me. First Shanti to the unknown world. People, we face challenges every day. We have many challenges every day. Let there be Om Shanti. Are you understanding? And second is the unknown. I don't know what happened today. From the unknown source, we want to make these unknown sources as a known. Yes, and but our topic today is, what is this? Choiceless awareness and self-absorption, and how these 8 steps, the first verse, 8 steps. But I have divided into two groups, first 5 steps, then I have taken the fifth step into the second group. So totally it is basically a uh, 8 steps. Pay attention, 100%. Choice less awareness. Can I say choice plus less is choice less awareness? But I'm adding something, I'm increasing something. That literally means, but the choiceless awareness means choiceless awareness. No David, no Jerry, no Webber, no Brandy, no Christina, no Dennis, no Terry, no Stephen. Plus, no me as a body mind complex. I am choice. I am in the state of choiceless awareness. Make it simple. When you contemplate and reflect on what I am talking today, It is possible. Choiceless awareness. No screen, no computer, no light, no computer hanging. Plus, no, this guy as a body mind complex. Then we experience that choiceless awareness. Intellectually, yes, we can think in a different way. Intellectually gives you some glimpse of it, but it does not give you an experience of it. And now see that what is self absorption. Absorption, we already know. So, self of you, me, he, she, thing, everything. They still exist, but I'm absorbed. How come? Like the waves to the water. I see different waves, but at the same time, I'm aware of the water. That is self absorption. Self absorption does not mean unconsciousness. In in Eastern wisdom, we don't want to live unconsciously, habitually, impulsively at any point of time. Living into those areas means I have lot of conflict. There is no self-absorption and there is no choiceless awareness. Why I have taken up this topic, I have been talking during the practice, the last step of the now, you are self-absorbed. Both are the same. So the first verse, all the 8 steps gives you a clarity about that we are moving into this choiceless awareness and self absorption. Let us go a little deeper into the same. So I give you an understanding choice plus less is choiceless awareness. Yeah, just to help us understand. Choiceless awareness is the state of being where there are no choices or preferences. It does not mean it does not exist outside. It still exists. My master, where the 200 people are sitting there, and he used to say that, you see, you all see that I'm sitting here, but I'm sitting in all of you. Intellectually, we have understood the real self is only one, pure consciousness is one, that is all pervading, that is eternal. So, obviously, um, in millions of the waves, the water is common factor. So, mathematically, you find the common factor. When you find the common factor, will you fight with someone? Common factor. No, no, common factor, you are my honey and I'm your honey. That is not a common factor. What Eastern wisdom is saying. So, what happens when we only have an intellectual understanding? Then there seems to be a contradiction in trying to define it. As the moment we try to define it, we are already adding a choice to it. What is that choice? There is a choiceless awareness and there is a choice. But when we understand this, it is only water is everywhere, the other option is let. The same thing happens with this self absorption. So you have to contemplate, you have to reflect on it. and especially during the practice of meditation. So, the choiceless awareness is related to the self absorption or complete attention in the present. Self absorption, another meaning, is that a complete attention in the present. Complete attention is the present, is the choiceless awareness, without any distraction or preference. It is not forgetfulness. It is not forgetfulness. So let us understand by the famous example of the Eastern wisdom. Every great master used to give this example. So, learning from them, I also like to bring in this example of, or a metaphor of a snake and the rope, but in a different way. So, think now you see we are expanding understanding of choiceless awareness and self absorption. So why we are having this session? So that in every practice of meditation or every day you are doing it, you remember this. Why you remember? We now need to progress, move to the next level. So now you see that I'm taking the whole picture. At dusk, what is dusk? There is an incomplete lighting. It's going to be dark. It's going to be dark. It is not yet dark. It represents the incomplete knowledge. Incomplete knowledge means ignorance. Come to the metaphor, snake and the rope metaphor. So in dusk, because it is incomplete knowledge, metaphorically, it is not totally dark, it is still dark. In that dusky moment, the rope is by mistake is perceived as a snake. Choice is made, symbolizing how ignorance leads to incorrect conclusion. I see snake, but the snake is not there. I see I'm body and the mind, but I'm not the body and the mind. I can go mad and declare I saw the snake. That is what happens in our daily life. I saw the body mind complex, I'm mad. Look at me, I'm so handsome. Even that is also a delusion. Or I don't look good. Long list. You see, body mind complex. I believe you all are understanding. Dusk, I defined it, which represents the incomplete knowledge. Ignorance is incomplete knowledge is ignorance. In ignorance, I see the rope as a snake. Snake does not exist. So in incomplete knowledge, we always perceive false, which does not exist, which appears to exist. Snake appears to exist. Now, do it opposite. Dawn. Now there is going to be a full light. It is not full. That is what the 40 steps is. Every step down in your mind helps you to reach to the highest state. Clear? Dawn represents the movement towards the knowledge. As the light increases, the snake dissolves because snake is not there. And only the rope is seen, symbolizing clarity, understanding through the regular practice. Previously, I gave a different explanations because we gave the metaphor to approach very near to the truth. So when I said choice, less awareness, I said no David, no Jerry, no Brady, no Webber, no, and including no body and the mind. It does not mean they they appear to exist, but at the same time I have a choiceless awareness. But this metaphor fits very clearly. It dissolves, the snake dissolves, the false dissolves. Now we have a memory of the snake with a smile. At dusk, we have a memory of the snake with a fear. At dawn, we have a memory of the snake with a smile. In both the cases, I still have a memory of the snake. In one case, it is ignorance. In other case, it is the wisdom. That is all about the 40 steps. If you have understood, if you have realized, you need not to go to follow the 40 steps. It is done. But how to reach to that state? So that is why the master is trying to help us step by step. So, so now this example, now snake does not exist at all. Body and the mind, I am the body and the mind complex does not exist at all. So people make a mistake that body and the mind complex does not exist. What does not exist? I am not the body and the mind. That thought, that feeling associated with an attachment, craving, impulsive nature, that do not exist. You got it? So we take it for granted. Oh, you already say I'm not the body. I'm not my neighbor. So neighbor does not exist. I'm not my honey. Then honey does not exist. So now both the metaphor helps us to go into that. So not in the beginning it will happen. It is bound to happen. I'm not the body, no. I'm not the honey. So and then you look at your honey, you will your mind will run after that idea. Oh, who cares, when I'm not the no, you give extra care. You have to get it. Snake dissolves. So, what is that snake? That snake is the idea formation, the thoughts and the feeling, all the thoughts and ideas which causes the incomplete knowledge, the darkness in my mind dissolves. Choice for a moment. Initially, there is a choice to see either the snake or a rope. Now you see what happens in our daily life. It is such a subtler but quite very interesting. The master means that what it means the choice for a moment. There is a choice to see either the snake or a rope, but in the presence of the snake, the rope does not exist. The real self does not exist in the presence of ignorance. And then you go to the master of the Eastern wisdom, he says, oh, come on, there is a real self. You say, where it is. So you are already full of ignorance. You will not understand. So what should we do? We have to start. We have to start with the first 8 steps. Forget about real self. Understand this. Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Are you understanding? You see the way the masters uh, help us to follow the journey. Choiceless awareness is natural. Self absorption is natural. To see the snake in a rope is unnatural. To see honey, to see husbands, to see father, to see teacher in that crazy guy is illusion. It is incomplete knowledge. We are going deeper. You all, I believe and I pray that all should communicate and start living into that state all the time. Choiceless awareness. So we are understanding. So what happens? You see that because I only see the snake, so I have a fear, I have an anxiety, duality, and a conflict. How can I believe that there is a real self? The master says, follow the 40 steps. Forget about the real self. Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. So, by repetition of these 40 steps, you remember that you are angry, you remember that you are honey, you remember that you are happy. And the master says, compare the three statements and three experiences. No, but I was angry yesterday, and only once because I felt that I'm the honey. Oh, but what happened the rest of the time? You study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Apply this. Oh, it means I'm none of them. Yes. Then who am I? We told you that you are the real self, but you did not understand. But follow it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Follow, 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 step by step. Do you see that? That is the beauty of these 40 steps. Huh? 40 steps. So it's a step by step progress. Now, even in the first step, we simply say study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. And let us see that what comes out. So total darkness, it is not possible. So but the first five steps is that we prepare, we buy the candle, we bring the matchbox, we lighten the candle. Do you see some light? Oh yes, I see that I am honey, I am agitated, I am father, etc. in four different events, and I am not honey 24 hours. I am not anxious 24 hours. I did not get the pleasure eating the pasta 24 hours. What it means that I'm something else? Yes, I'm something else. Then who am I? Continue the journey. You say continue the journey. Look at it. Well, many people say that, oh, no, you're talking of the real self and there is no. So we do not understand basically. So the first eight steps, first it lays the foundation that I have to study the Eastern wisdom, to study myself, and gradually I filter what I am not at a very primary level. Even at the primary level, when you recognize you are progressing, you are raising your awareness. I gave an example. In the last session, $22,000 versus $2,000. You don't get obsessed. You know, what will happen to me? I will die. You are squeezing 22K. Same thing when you go to the, to the doctor says you something, you come back home and you have overburdened yourself. You have gone to the workplace and the boss said you something, overburdened. So the first 5 steps helps you to progress into that area. You start breaking up. And the rest 3 steps, I included the fifth one, helps you to become subtler. What do you move from the physical to the subtle to the subtler level of your awareness? It is subtler understanding. And if you clearly understand the subtler understanding, it is done. I told you 100% understanding. So you live every day with that awareness. When you live with that awareness, your behavior and attitude changes. When your behavior and attitude changes, your thought, speech, and action changes. When your thought, speech, and action changes, your personality changes. When your personality changes, your personal, professional, social, family life changes. You are moving more towards the peace and the calmness and the love and the wisdom that you realize in the last 3 steps, last 3 of the 8 steps, because you are continuing the process of discernment and dispassion. So you know that study Eastern wisdom, mindfulness in duty in all the activities. Simple way, I'm doing karma yoga instead of a karma. It will not happen in the beginning, before, during, and after. You're performing an action. Okay, one of the best examples that I have found in my life, that I always prepare myself 10 or 15 minutes before. Not only before the session, I have a doctor's appointment today again, not to shell out $22,000, but it's a simple. So even my son, and I told you my daughter used to be crazy. Why you reach 15 minutes before the master starts the lecture? Or you have a doctor's. No, I said, I want to be there. But those who are fully busy, how can they do it? You cannot do it. And why you are fully busy? Because you are living in ignorance. You see the cycle. Always reach 10, 15 minutes before if they have to accompany me. But now they understand. So that is the second step. So why? You remember before, during, and after the action, I am in peace and happiness. Only the action, thought, and behavior leads us to stress and anxiety. So you have no chance to see the snake. And then you realize it is happening because of the attachment. That is the third step. Oh, it is happening because of the attachment? Yes. People don't realize in the very beginning that it is happening because of attachment. They don't see the difference between the attachment and unconditional love. If one is living in the incomplete knowledge and you go, some incident happens, say, for example, your friend is crying, and after a week you go there and again he is crying. Third week, again you are crying. Now you say, what the heck you are doing? It is done. Incident has gone. Take charge of your life. Move ahead. And they will fight with you. Because they say you don't understand, how much I love. So your love is manifesting in crying, in anxiety, in duality. That is your attachment. So release attachment. Huh? So we have done mindful karma yoga, second step, aligning. Now the fourth step, when you release the attachment, your mind expands. It says that is it possible? Is it the fact that everything is being done by the existence? That is another level of your awareness. It is helping you to move towards the choiceless awareness. I must use this. Do you really believe it? Yes, I believe it. Prove it. Prove it where? Don't prove Eastern wisdom for others. Prove Eastern wisdom for yourself. When you prove for yourself, you have proven for the entire world. It does not matter that you say that I'm crazy. Let I be crazy. You have to prove to yourself. So when you start proving yourself, the fifth step comes. You transcend all those limitations. You transcend, oh, there is a hell and heaven. It is within me. Otherwise, some traces of those indelible impressions since our childhood and heavy conditioning in the mind still remains. You see? And then we have, so the first acronym is SMART. And I told you that I have taken one step, the fifth step, into the second group. And so remember, the second acronym is CLEAR. Even though there are four steps, the I expanded it as a clear. C. I have to cleanse. What I have to cleanse? My sins. Not only sins, but also virtues. It will be a different topic. I'm not talking today. I have to cleanse both sins and virtues. What is virtue? That gives me pleasure. What gives me pleasure? Eating pasta. I'm attached to the pasta. Pleasure is not there. So when you come to my home and say that, are you ready to go to a restaurant to eat pasta? I'm ready. Always ready. It is happening because so it is. I'm accumulating more impressions. So that is also indirectly a sin. And the other sin is that I want to escape the pain at all cost. Unfavorable condition. Every day I should wake up and I should find out my teeth is all right. I'm just giving an example so that you can easily understand. No, it is not possible. So the I have to cleanse my mind from both the categories of the thoughts and feelings. So that is what I'm getting rid of. It. L means that recognize the defects. Learn. I have to LCL. L means the learning to recognize the defects of the world. What it means? I don't see the defects of the world. My desires and attachment and conditioning is superimposed on the event in the world causes me stress. And that is where the discernment and dispassion come. CLE. E means embrace. What do you embrace? No, I have to continue the journey of the real self. I have to awaken to my real self. I want to prove that. I have a commitment to myself. Studying Eastern wisdom to study yourself. I have to prove that there is no real self. Even then, I am happy. Then it means, the pain, suffering, duality, conflict, etc. I have to continue with it as long as I live. But if I have proved that I am the real self, In both the cases, I'm benefiting. Embrace. So the word E here, I say embrace the burning desire for awakening. Burning desire means all the time it is burning. When you are going to the mall or talking to the honey or living with some pain or etc. A, adhere, adhere to. What I adhere? Regular practice. So when you follow these cleans, learn, embrace, adhere, and then what happens? R means you relax. You relax even in the presence of the pain. That is 100% possible, my friends. In the last session, Dennis, there is a friend of ours in Ukraine, who is a wonderful teacher, also a yoga teacher. And so 2 weeks before, he asked me to pray for a person that he should not join the military. He was forced to join the military. So last week, what happened? He returned. Why? Because I prayed. Because I prayed. So it means all the but but had it happened, I don't want to say anything. It should have been a curse on me. Maybe many people should have left. So we have to be very aware of that. Now, what happened? Because somebody is attending the session, where the dentist translates. So she attends another session. So she saw this. So she sent an email that my brother is forced again into the army. So please pray for him. You have to be. We have to prove it. We have to understand it clearly. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed, and place, position, and the posture. I'm giving you some time to move your mind from the place to position to the posture to being comfortable, to be carefree. And snake and rope. First neighbor, the world outside. The world will continue to exist as it is. Our relationship to the world outside changes. That is the matter of discernment and dispassion. I believe. First neighbor. Second neighbor is the body, physical body. On one hand, the physical body, health in the sickness are dynamic states. You cannot change this. The childhood comes and goes, never returns. Do I have any control over it? No. The youth, comes, we all were excited in the youth. No, but you all are young except me. So the old age comes and it never goes. We have to be very careful. And so that is one aspect of it. Other aspect is that for physical survival, I have to depend on the world outside. So I build a healthy relationship, not a relationship with attachment and detachment. Why? Because it will accumulate the sin. Third neighbor is the energy, hunger, and the thirst. We have such a deep ignorance, which I explained to you today, that if the breath is going, then I am living. It is such a deeper level of ignorance. And at the same time, it is 100% clear that I'm not conscious in deep sleep. I'm not at all aware, and still I'm living. Fourth neighbor is the mind. Fifth is the I-ness and the intellect, the false I or the wave. And the sixth is the ignorance. So, intellect should be prepared to understand and stick to it. If I have covered all the six neighbors, then there must be something beyond it also. I have yet to find out. You see, we are proving it. The way I have designed the practice, you should know that. There is nothing like belief in cult and dogma. So, what we say, okay, if it is so, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. So now it is your uh, job. No, I won't say it is your duty to just move with that state of happiness anywhere, everywhere. If the happiness is all pervading, I have found the real self. Don't you see that? Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. By discernment and dispassion in the intellect, you have a glimpse of peace and happiness in the same mind. Previously it was agitated, now you have. So you see the process. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Again, look. So the intellect is discerning, moving into the state of dispassion. Then it realizes that when I am complete in myself, mind, where are you running? So when the mind gets this understanding, it is just like removing the snake. The mind settles down. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham. May there be happiness, auspiciousness for all. That auspiciousness is existence, absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. Only because of its presence, we feel auspicious. Can you feel auspicious all the time because of the mind, intellect, attachment, detachment, delusion, anxiety, duality, conflict? I can continue. Answer is no. Did I do anything? No. Do I feel auspicious? Yes. I get the glimpse of it. So, looking at the flow of the breath, let us say, can we move into the same higher state without any active step? So, you are looking at the breath, you are looking at the flow of the breath. You know why I say many people also talk about and they give this step. But do you know why they give this step in meditation? Flow of the breath. And then we discussed and I told you that look at the flow of the breath. If the flow from both the nostrils are equal, even if it is not equal, continue to be aware. And if you are simply aware of the flow of the breath for a longer period, you will recognize, you will move to the same experiences that you have, that you get after the breathing practices. But in breathing practices, I feel the freshness in the brain. Yes, you will definitely feel the same also. It's a matter of discernment and dispassion, the last three steps. Then you will recognize, you will prove that yes, you told me that proves to be right, that we are doing these different types of breathing to purify the mind, to remove the ignorance. So when you are still aware of the flow of the breath, and then we also become aware of the you see that all the six neighbors, it's basically a horizontal movement. What is that horizontal movement? You are moving from outside to inside. But now we are moving from outside to inside with our experiences. You look at the head and the neck and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And look inside the head and the neck. I believe you may remember. Look the space or dark space inside. That is the signature of calmness. And if you have some sensation inside, take it as That is calmness, any sensation, and the dark space is the quietness. So we are making a movement of the mind which already exists. Outside sensation, relaxation, and stillness, inside calmness and quietness. Right arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness. Mind at a subtler level stuff keeps running, and we again turn to ignorance. Left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And inside, calmness and quietness. Calmness, any sensation that you may pick up, and the quietness is just a blank. I don't want to link it with the choiceless awareness now. So look at the middle portion of the body from the shoulder to the waist. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness. Right leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Calmness and quietness. Where you know. Left leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness, calmness, and quietness. Entire body, sensation, relaxation, and stillness, calmness, and quietness. In that state, we experience the mind is living within. Oh, that will help us to move to the next step. 16 segments of fingers, you start dropping Om Shanti. You already know it. And now, moving the mind inside the heart, visualize the triangle of any color pointing upward. Drop Om Shanti, the mantra, on each side of the triangle. Just find out, discover it is sinking. When it is sinking, that is the moment. You push the mind by mentally singing Om deep inside the cave of your heart. Be aware of the point where the mind seemingly stops. You do the Shanti. And the topic we discuss self absorption or choiceless awareness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand Your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences now. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. Um, Finding it easier and easier to lean into the teachings of the Eastern wisdom and maintaining consistency. One of the the list, just listening to the basic principles, but more importantly, being able to slow everything down. Um, in my life and around me. And I think that what that's creating is this choiceless awareness because I'm trying to stay in the moment and I'm noticing in those moments it just brings up a lot of the things that we've learned in the past that it's always worrying about what's coming rather than being where I'm at right now. And it just seems easier and easier to get things done. And you ask yourself, kind of like you used the analogy once of driving, like you know how to drive home. You might be involved or thinking about other things, and all of a sudden you're home. Um, I'm starting to recognize that more and more and lean into that, and it just makes this process much easier. So, thank you. And as far as the meditation today goes, I was completely absorbed from the moment I closed my eyes to moments in which I felt a true separation of myself and just heard your voice out there somewhere. So thank you again.
Beautifully said. Consistency, regular contemplation and reflection helps us to move ahead. We are on a journey to find the real self, not less than that. Beautifully said. Stephen, thank you. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. The theme, choiceless awareness, was very intriguing to me, and it reminded me and of two things. One is our dreams, in some respects, are choiceless awareness because we're aware of what's going on, but we can't interact, we can't decide, we can't talk. We're just observing. So I found that very interesting. The second one, to Stephen's point about cars, many years ago, I had the opportunity to get my race car license, and I remember the instructor telling us, "Go slow to go fast," and that was like a very sort of metaphoric thing in car racing. So they would always say your fastest lap, you're going to feel very calm and relaxed. And I think if you look, I love that analogy. I use it in business all the time, but I think for ourselves, I think we go fast to go fast a lot, but really if we deep down go slow, we can go accomplish whatever we want. So those are my two takeaways from it. The meditation portion was deep and unattached.
Beautiful, David. You see that? We are very fast. Means that, I have a lot of work to do. That is, I'm very fast. And still, my work is not complete on that particular day. Because I'm very fast, I tried my hard. Nothing is. That is the that is the problem of the mind. And when the mind lives with the discernment and dispassion, it knows. It knows what to do, how to do, and I'm doing it with awareness and clarity. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. The meditation was deep. Um, with reflection, though, through my meditation and the application as you kind of took us through, I was thinking about how the true nature just is there, that exists, where it's always the same. And then if we come home and somebody's parked our neighbor parked in our our driveway. We're not going to say, oh, true nature, we're just happy, peaceful. They can park in the driveway. In fact, all the neighbors can park in the driveway. No, we're going to go talk to the neighbor.
Yeah.
But we're going to go with our peace. We're not going to go fuming. We're going to go do it. So it's interesting because when you say, well, I'm not my honey, but I care about my honey. I'm
That
not
is very important.
but I care if he's parked in my driveway.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing's important, but everything's important.
Yes, that we need to understand. When I say that I'm not the honey, it does not, it only means that idea, that thought, that feeling of I'm not the honey, that very thought has created an ignorance has to be dropped. It is not that, I'm not your honey, so go anywhere you like. How dare you go anywhere you like? No, that is not the case. It's not my car, so you can take it away. That is not the case. That is what Jerry is reflecting upon. So, but why it is not, I've already answered by the examples. How are you, Brandy?
I'm fine. Thank you for the meditation and the lesson today. My meditation was calm and peaceful, and the mind did kick up, like it'll do, but I just brought it back to that idea of choiceless awareness. And I really appreciate what everybody's shared so far today, because there's some days like today when other people's interpretations also really help drive the lessons home. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. That is why we all are sharing the experiences. Everyone has its own perspective after understanding. And it helps one another, and it helps me much more than you guys. Beautiful, yeah. That is what we need to do every day. Dennis.
Thank you for the lesson. Interesting topic today. And my thoughts are that choice implies multitude. And the choice exists only when I'm not the real self. Because
That's a good point.
choices are made by the mind. And when I am the body and the mind, then there are choices to be made. When I am the real self, there are no choices to be made. So the other perspective is that choiceless awareness permeates all choices, like the real self permeates all the objects and places and events and people and all the manifested universe. And as far as by meditation, there was calmness, peace, and absorption. Thank you.
Yeah, beautifully said. So we all have to first, you go back to the lesson, understand how I explained you the choiceless awareness and the self-absorption. Both are almost the same, but we use it differently. Why you use it differently? Because of the intellect and some impurity in the mind. Or you can say our level of discernment and dispassion has not reached to that state. And that is why the Dennis is saying that real self is permeating everywhere. So when it is permeating everywhere, then where is the then then very idea of the choiceless awareness falls down. It is there, I'm there. There is only oneness. So that oneness versus I am your honey and I'm not your honey. That is the case. It is not anything else. It is a matter of just awareness and consciousness. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mind is calm. With choiceless experience, like awareness, it's like it's create a space inside me with my experiences. So it's like that enables me to learn that where I'm being impulsive or reactive. So it is giving me that understanding.
Yes, yes. All that glitters, what we say, all that glitters is not gold. Now, Thanksgiving and Christmas Day, so we offer beautiful gifts and wrapped around the glitters. That is not gold. So we always bring, and sometime I think in many shops also, they keep a blank boxes. They keep a blank boxes, yes. They always glitter. So I'm your honey, that glitters. I'm rich, that glitters. I'm smart, that glitters, etc., etc. That is the false I. So we are into the same world living with everything doing, but internally we are choiceless awareness. Terry has to say something. Yes, come out.
I don't know what to say.
Because you are in choiceless awareness.
No, unfortunately not.
You are not?
No, I knew I need to today my this passion intellect
Discernment and dispassion. You see
is
what Terry is
working
saying. Yes.
overtime.
What Terry is saying, I already gave an example. No David, no Jerry, no Webber, no Brandy, no one else. We forget, we lose awareness, know this body and the mind complex. Who is doing the inquiry, not this, not this, not this, including this is also not this. Then only we can enter into the choiceless awareness. Why I said, Terry? Because you said, I don't know. So drop that person who says, I don't know. You will be in choiceless awareness. The moment the mind says, I don't know, drop that person. Oh, okay. Mind, you are saying, I don't know. Let it me be dropped. Then what you have to say? Oh, I was forgetting. Christina. Yes.
Thank you. Over time, just more and more noticing of being able to feel a deeper sense of peace and calmness in our meditations and peeling of the layers. It almost feels like a coming home to the real self in between all of the times of forgetting.
No problem. Forgetting. So remember, consistency, regular practice, and we have to prove that I'm the real self. And if that happens, consistency and regular practice will definitely. Everything is okay at your home, Christina? Okay, very good. So remember, think of those two because this example appeals me most. I say, yeah, no Brandy, no Chris, but I'm saying it in my mind because if you say it outside, they will fight with you. So, no honey, no money, and then you say, this also no. Because who is rejecting is also the false I, also is one wave. And then you enter into that state. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again in the next session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.